In 2025, the world of the unexplained is more alive than ever. Cryptids have fascinated us for generations. Creatures on the edge of belief, blending myth, science, and mystery. Join me as we count down the top 25 cryptids that continue to captivate our imaginations. Welcome to Cryptid Crossings. I'm Brian, your guide to the mysterious and the unexplained. This is the first in a 5-part series where we're going to count down my top 25 cryptids. But before we get started, I want to hear from you. Comment below with your top 3 cryptids. We'll find out if we rank your favorites too low or if we leave any off entirely. Our countdown starts now with the cryptids ranked 25 through 21. These creatures may not top the list, but each brings its own flair of mystery. So are you ready? Let's go. Kicking things off at number 25 is the Grafton Monster, a cryptid shrouded in eerie encounters and local lore. The Grafton Monster is a massive headless cryptid reportedly seen along the banks of the Tigard River in 1964. Witnesses described a large pale figure with smooth, slick skin, standing over 7 feet tall and exuding an ominous presence. It has no visible head, leading some to speculate that its head is recessed into its shoulders, or that it operates without one entirely. But known for its eerie silence, the monster left behind trampled grass and mysterious whistling noises in its wake. The Grafton Monster's story begins on June 16, 1964, when local reporter Robert Cockrell encountered a massive headless figure with slick white skin while driving along the Tigard River in West Virginia. Initially hesitant to speak up, Cockrell later discovered over 20 additional reports from locals who claimed to have seen the same creature. Sightings have dwindled, but the legend was reignited recently when featured on an episode of Mountain Monsters. A farmer named Terry reportedly captured video footage of the monster in the Tigard Valley. The Grafton Monster became a cultural phenomenon in the 1960s, with groups searching the area for this mysterious figure. And despite multiple sightings, no physical evidence has ever been found, leaving the truth behind the Grafton Monster an enduring mystery. While we do this countdown, I'll be awarding a plausibility score of how likely I think it is for the creature to exist. The Grafton Monster earns itself a 3 out of 10 on my scale. But what do you think? Could the Grafton Monster be a misunderstood phenomenon, or is something otherworldly lurking along the Tigard River? Let me know what you think in the comments. At number 24, we have the Grootslang, a legendary South African creature shrouded in ancient myth and mystery. The Grootslang, or big snake, is said to inhabit a cave called the Wonder Hole in Richtersveld. That's right, the Wonder Hole. According to legend, it's a primordial being created by gods who mistakenly gave it unparalleled strength, cunning, and intellect. Realizing their error, the gods split the Grootslang into elephants and snakes. But one escaped, becoming the ancestor of all Grootslangs. In 1917, English businessman Peter Grayson set out to search for treasure in the Richtersveld, a region rumored to be rich with diamonds and danger. The Grootslang's legend warned that the creature covets diamonds and will fiercely guard its hoard. Grayson's expedition, however, ended in tragedy. Members of his party were attacked by lions, leaving them injured and vulnerable. And despite the warnings, Grayson pressed onward into the treacherous terrain and was never seen again. While lions were officially blamed for his disappearance, local whispers tied the tragedy to the Grootslang. Did Grayson encounter something truly sinister in his pursuit of treasure? The Grootslang is even said to lure elephants into its lair and devour them, using its size and strength to overpower its prey. Its treasure hoard adds another layer to the legend, suggesting victims might actually be able to bargain for their lives by offering precious gems. The Grootslang earns a plausibility score of 3 out of 10. While I don't necessarily know if it's a hybrid between an elephant and a snake, I think it's very likely that there are some very large snakes in that area of the world that could still be undiscovered. So what do you think? Is the Grootslang merely a cautionary tale to warn against greed? Or could something ancient and terrifying still haunt the depths of the Richtersveld? At number 23, we have the Kongamato, a cryptid with deep roots in African folklore and a chilling reputation. The Kongamato, meaning breaker of boats, is a pterosaur-like creature said to inhabit rivers and swamps in Zambia, the Congo, and Angola. Descriptions date back to early European explorers, such as Frank Melland, who documented local tales of a reddish, lizard-like beast with membranous wings and teeth-filled beaks in his 1932 book, In Witch-Bound Africa. And sightings still persist with accounts of attacks on boats and people venturing too close to the rivers. However, skeptics point out that the regions where the Kangamato is reported are popular birdwatching destinations. Yet birdwatchers seldom report anything unusual. The Kangamato is said to feast primarily on fish, but has also been accused of digging up graves to steal human corpses. Locals, when shown images of pterosaurs, often identify them as Kangamatos, adding an eerie layer of plausibility to the legend. The Kangamato scores a 4 out of 10 on my plausibility scale. I do believe a strong possibility of undiscovered creatures, especially in the Congo Basin. Now, whether a pterosaur still lives to this day, that's yet to be determined, but something is definitely flying in the air above the Congo. So could the Kangamato be a case of mistaken identity? Or does this cryptid represent a surviving relic of prehistoric times? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss part 2 of our top 25 cryptids countdown. Coming in at number 22 is the Van Meter Visitor, a cryptid with an unforgettable story rooted in the small town of Van Meter, Iowa. In October 1903, this mysterious creature terrorized the town for several nights. Respected community members described it as having large bat-like wings, emitting a terrible stench, and, strangely enough, firing beams of bright light from its forehead. The stories lived on through the years, becoming an integral part of Van Meter's identity. The tale recounts how the townsfolk tried shooting the beast to no avail. The creature disappeared after locals pursued it into an abandoned coal mine, where it reportedly vanished alongside a second beast, never to resurface. Even today, the legend of the Van Meter Visitor is celebrated with an annual festival in September. It's a gathering of cryptid enthusiasts, researchers, and curious visitors who come together to keep the story alive. And if you want to learn more about that festival, make sure to check out our previous video covering cryptid festivals and conventions. We have a special segment in there on the Van Meter Visitor Festival. So was it a visitor from another world, a surviving prehistoric species, or something entirely different? The Van Meter Visitor gets a plausibility score of 3 out of 10. Could such a creature have truly walked the streets of Iowa? Share your theories in the comments below. And rounding out this group of cryptids, at number 21, we have the Bat Squatch. The Bat Squatch is a winged humanoid cryptid reportedly sighted near Mount St. Helens after its catastrophic eruption in 1980. Amid the chaos of ash clouds, landslides, and destruction, witnesses began reporting a massive 9-foot-tall creature with blue fur, bat-like wings spanning up to 50 feet, glowing red eyes, and sharp fangs. The eruption and its devastating effects seemed to awaken the creature, sparking a wave of sightings. Perhaps the most famous encounter occurred in April of 1994, when Brian Canfield's truck stalled on a remote road in Pierce County, Washington. Later reports included a trucker claiming to have hit a 15-foot-tall version of the creature in Oregon in 1998, and hikers near Mount Shasta in 2009 who described a winged humanoid with a 50-foot wingspan. And Bat Squatch's description ties it to other winged cryptids such as the Mothman and the Jersey Devil. Some suggest it's a harbinger of disaster, while others theorize it's a relic of prehistoric times, or possibly even a supernatural being tied to volcanic activity. Interesting how closely this actually does resemble the Mothman story, with it showing up around the same time as a large disaster. The Bat Squatch earns a plausibility score from me of a 4 out of 10. The Pacific Northwest can be an eerie place, and some eerie creatures abound. So does Bat Squatch soar above the Pacific Northwest as a reminder of nature's fury, or is it simply a modern myth born from chaos? And that wraps up part 1 of our countdown. What are your thoughts on cryptids 25 through 21? Are these creatures ranked too low, or do they belong on the list at all? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Until then, stay curious. You never know what lurks in the shadows.